By two large minority shareholders, Vedanta is going back to the drawing board on merging Cairn India with itself. The move comes after LIC and Cairn Energy PLC refused to play ball, seeking a substantially sweetened offer. Nayantara standing by with the big breaking story at this point. Nayantara, what are you picking up? Will Vedanta sweeten the deal?
Shireen, what I understand from my sources is that Vedanta is going back to the drawing board as far as the merger contours go. Like we've been reporting here on the channel, Cairn Energy PLC and LIC, the two largest minority shareholders in Cairn India, not playing ball. They're not happy with the merger. That swap is 1:1 swap ratio that was offered. What I do understand from my sources is that on Tuesday, October 27th is when the Vedanta board will meet, and post that is when we can expect some clarity. How much will the offer be substantially sweetened by is something that we will not know immediately, because if the board does decide to sweeten the offer, it's going to have to go back to the valuations committee. The bankers are going to have to be involved. Then the independent directors, the ones that are not common on both the Vedanta and Cairn India boards, will have to give an approval. So it's a very long drawn process. But the big story is the top bosses at Vedanta realizing that that 1:1 swap ratio for the merger is not going to work. They may have to sweeten it. As a last resort, if Vedanta feels there is no other option, maybe it'll have to push back the Cairn India merger. What I do understand from my sources is that is something that Vedanta is not very keen to do. It is keen that Cairn India be absorbed into Vedanta. Also, let's just recall that Vedanta has been going through trying times thanks to that overall commodity meltdown that we have been witnessing. That's not augured well for Vedanta's balance sheet either. You've seen rating agency downgrade Vedanta as well. On top of that, if this merger does fail, because of the new listing agreement that exists in the country, Vedanta is going to have to repay Cairn India $1.25 billion in the May of 2016. So Shireen, that's the big story. Are we going to see a sweetened offer? It's not going to come anytime soon, but the big story that could come on Tuesday is if the board decides, yes, let's sweeten the offer. As a last resort, the company may have no option but to miss the timeline.
All right, so we're going to be tracking that story very closely. And as Nayantara was pointing out, and in fact, I remember our colleague Anuj was also pointing this out today, despite the fact that we didn't see great numbers coming in for Cairn, today the stock was actually higher. And of course, this is what perhaps is what the street is anticipating, but we will, as Nayantara pointed out, maybe get more clarity on this story come Tuesday, which is when the Vedanta board will be meeting. So we will